Hello and welcome to Decorating Pages podcast. I am your host, Kim Wannop. We have a special episode presented by HBO Max in celebration of The Pitt, Season 2, for your consideration for outstanding production design for a narrative contemporary program, 1 hour or more. I have said many times on this podcast how much I love this show. I love the acting. I love the design. I just love all of the in-depth characters that you get to meet through the hours of this show. And I binged the first season. I told myself I was going to do that with the second season, and then I couldn't wait. I had to have it. So after about 4 episodes, I started watching it week to week, just like everybody else, and talking about it with people, which we get into in this episode. Being able to talk about it with other people because everyone's watching it is fun and kind of old school, and I love that. In its first season, The Pitt became one of the most celebrated dramas on television, earning 13 Emmy nominations and winning 5, including Outstanding Drama Series, Outstanding Lead Actor, Outstanding Supportive Actress, Outstanding Guest Actor, and Outstanding Casting for a Drama Show. The Television Academy also recognized the show across directing, writing, makeup, prosthetics, sound mixing, and drama series categories. It made The Pitt one of the most defining Emmy-nominated shows in past years. So Season 2 returned to Pittsburgh Trauma Medical Center with the same real-life structure that made the series feel so emotional and immediate and pressure. And this new season unfolds across a 15-hour emergency room shift, this time set over the 4th of July weekend, picking up roughly 10 months after the events of Season 1. New episodes started to premiere in January of 2026 and just continued on in an intense hour-by-hour unfolding of this story on HBO Max. For this episode, I'm joined by production designer Nina Ruscio and set decorator Matt Callahan to talk about the extraordinary work behind The Pitt Season 2, a show where the design is both massive and also invisible in the best way. That just the realism is unbelievable. The emergency department is designed to support a full 360-degree shooting style with practical lighting, layered medical equipment, stocked rooms, stocked drawers. They're all dressed appropriately, working background action, and a set that can be photographed almost anywhere at any time. In Season 2, Nina and her team expanded the triage area and continued building a world that feels like a real hospital because every detail has to survive this camera work and the actors and their dance that they're doing through this space in every scene. What makes The Pitt so powerful is that the design never takes the attention, but it carries an emotional weight throughout the show. You're waiting to see what room they're going to be taken into. You're waiting to see what new cool devices are going to be used to help save these people. Nina talks about creating a hospital that feels universal but still rooted in Pittsburgh, using architectural details and columns, the subtle color, and a blanched palette that lets the characters stand forward. Matt discusses the enormous challenge of maintaining continuity over a story that takes place in one day but shoots across months of time. From the medical equipment to the linens and the liners in the trash can, the break rooms, the hospital beds, the lived-in feel that is maintained by him and his crew. This is a conversation about scale and pressure and the craft and the kind of production design that works so well, you almost forget that it's designed. And I think that's a huge compliment because it feels like a documentary sometimes that you're watching. And the set lends to it. You can watch this episode on Decorating Pages' YouTube channel to see the set photos that we are talking about. And also don't forget, if you are an Emmy voter for production design, you can look at this package when you are voting. So please take a moment to look at the work and the presentation that everyone has put together. So please consider The Pitt Season 2 for outstanding production design for a narrative contemporary program, 1 hour or more. I hope you enjoy.
Because there's so many episodes, there's so much new work. It's just hard to express it. So that's great.
Amen.
Yes, and our new work is often very subtle and sometimes very small.
Yeah. I mean, and sometimes to go by timing, and you're like, I did this huge set and it's only on screen for 4 seconds. So,
Yeah, exactly. I mean, if we could measure our lives in the amount of time that our work has been seen, we would all leave the art department immediately.
what was your, because I feel like exactly. I feel like you guys didn't have much time off between 1 and 2. Did you?
Well, because there's 15 episodes, it's almost like the old style of episodic network television.
Yeah.
Um, so we all feel deeply grateful because it's just enough time off to be restless, but we're back. It's the writer's challenge because of the promise that they've made to make 15 episodes every season and to try to get them back on the air in January every year. It's a very daunting challenge for them. And because of that, we just feel super grateful. It feels like the best job on the planet. And it's incredibly well run. It's an incredibly well produced show. There's a level of excellence across the board of every member that's part of the crew, and everyone. We are the definition of the sum is uh, greater than our parts
Right.
because every single aspect of this project, from no matter how small, is essential to maintain the level of authenticity, to kind of, and then on a personal level to experience the level of humanity and care that goes into from every single department, uh, even just within our own art world.
Right.
Props and prosthetics and visual effects and video playback and obviously incredible set deck department and construction and paint department. And so it's just it's a genuine pleasure. It's a party we all don't want to leave.
What was your prep for season 2? Remember?
You mean what did we do?
No,
Well, we
like
built
how
a whole
much time did you have to prep this season?
season two.
Yes.
That's a really good question. We were on a couple plus months, kind of a classic time frame.
Oh, so like
Because
2
because
8
we
weeks?
built a whole extension to triage, which was actually large,
Yeah.
but that you wouldn't know wasn't there because mostly our back was to the camera in that area where we did this big extension. And we were able to make the second stage have the same 360-degree experience with unlimited photography. We were able to do that. We had drawn a line in the sand on the stage in the first season, and we were able to extend way past that.
Oh my God.
Um,
Right. Matt, do you hold over a lot of the dressing? I'm fascinated with your medical stuff that you've gotten because it's all beautiful as much as medical pieces can be. But
They're very beautiful. Yeah,
yeah. And do you hold that over? How's that season go?
I do. I do hold over most of it.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
I have. Um, just because it's 3 months or whatever, and they give me great deals, and it's we actually what we've discovered about our set is it's a very popular attraction for tours for
Oh,
people to
yeah.
come and see it. So that during the hiatus, there are a lot of tours, sort of internal Warner Brothers tours, and sometimes some outside tours that come through the set. So um, that's one reason that we hold things over. The second reason is, the that I get, I'm blessed to get very nice deals from the prop houses that I work with, and it just makes our lives a lot easier. It's
So
worth
much
it's
easier.
worth money to
So
hold
much easier. So
you know,
much easier to hold it over.
because you're not sure it's going to go away, and some
Yeah.
things are very specific to the look. We do we do own a tremendous amount of what's on that stage. That was one of the goals that we had at the beginning, and also because of the look of the show and what we wanted to, the kind of equipment that we wanted to get. It can be extremely expensive to rent this kind of stuff
Yes.
for long periods of time. Our season we're shooting for, what is it, 8 months out of the year, 8 plus. So in a way, and hoping that the show would be successful, and now knowing that the show is very successful, it's paid off
Yeah.
that we made that investment at the beginning.
Well, that's
It would take almost a
smart.
stage of the same size to store all the stuff that we have. So it's not it's a he's there's it's a phenomenal job of
Yeah.
quantity and at scale that Matt and the set deck department has done. It's amazing.
I'll also say that we were very fortunate and in great deal due to our amazing prop master, Rick Latimade.
Yeah.
We were able to procure a lot of things like our striker beds, which if you're seeing this
Yeah.
photograph
Yeah.
here,
These.
yeah, we got a generous amount of striker beds from Striker. We got a generous amount of medical carts from CAPSA. We got other individual equipment from a lot of big companies, and we're continuing to develop relationships with companies as we go into season three. And that's been a really exciting aspect of the show. It opens up to us a lot of visual equipment and things that we might not necessarily be able to
Yeah.
find or afford otherwise.
Yeah.
So that's been kind of, this is the first strictly medical show that I've ever done. And that's been kind of one of the fun things about it, is learning about all this equipment, interacting with the people that live in these worlds.
Right. And it's so expensive.
Oh my
The
God,
the
yes,
medical equipment is so ridiculously expensive, and then you're like, "Well, could we rent it?" And then they, like, laugh at you. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Sometimes they'll laugh, but then when they get on board, you're like, "No, no, no, this is gonna be great. This is like this really is gonna be a great friendship."
we do. I'm not going to go into
Mhm.
details, but we did buy some equipment that was very expensive, and we do have some equipment that we're renting the outside of, you know prop houses, because we it's the only place we could get it. And then we have a lot of great stuff that we got for free, product placement. And
Yeah.
the product placement deals are kind of rolling in now that we're prepping for
Good.
season.
Good,
It's
good.
unbelievable. And
Good.
email after email of
Yeah,
people that have seen a product like theirs on the set, and then
Oh,
they
that's great.
they're overly generous. It's lovely. It's lovely.
Because it
Because
opens
they
it up for us. It only
absolutely.
gives us choices to use in scenes and to, like, have this a variety, and or, like, this is the one for the hospital, this is the staple, like the beds or something, like, you're making a statement either way, so it only benefits everyone, really, so
Absolutely.
yeah.
Yeah.
and it's
And
essentially
it's
Yeah.
nice to know that these companies admire the show and respect the show,
Yeah. Oh,
want
yeah.
want their
It's a
product on the
compliment.
show.
Yeah, it's a compliment. Nina, when you did the overall design of this massive floor plan for this this ER, what was your, like, I'm going to integrate this columns or this old building like this. What was your theory there?
well, when they approached me, and maybe you've read this somewhere, but essentially, John and Noah and Scott and Mike Hisrick, they approached me before they wrote anything.
Okay.
And at that point, we had not an arrangement with a particular hospital to actually use in Pittsburgh. No formal agreement. We had a hope that we would be able to connect with Allegheny General in Pittsburgh. So when I was approached, I poured myself into research and went to as many physical spaces as I could, and as many emergency departments as I could, and then did a lot of institutional design research for medical design. I wanted to make sure that everything worked in a universal way so people could feel that the hospital was theirs no matter what city or country that they lived in.
Right.
But I also was concerned that you would have no sense of place. So the columns and such were my attempt to give some architectural kisses to the interior of a relatively blanched palette space so that you could see that that space was once 100 years old and that it had
Right.
been renovated maybe 15, 20 years ago, but that it was part of the basement space. Again, a double entendre for the pit, a feeling of being columns holding up
Oh,
the
yeah.
rest of the hospital, and maybe even metaphorically that an emergency department is actually the foundational
Yeah.
aspect of, that holds up a hospital in terms of its um, the thoroughfare, the acts, the way that people come to a hospital is frequently admitted through an emergency department. So um, I actually think it was a little bit fear based, dare I say, because I wanted to make it blanched and sterile and universal to everyone, but I wanted to give it some sense of place
Yeah.
and a little architectural interest that would keep it out of the doldrums, knowing that we were going to, at that point, need to shoot most of 15 episodes and over 95% of these episodes would be shot in this one 24,000 square foot set.
Yeah, I have your floor
So
plan here.
it was truly an attempt to keep everyone interested. There's a lot of dynamism in the ceiling plan. This is a little bit of just stage 21 and the extension that we did that you're showing right now. But
Yeah.
to keep a dynamism in the plan, it was almost protective to make sure that people wouldn't. The ground plan is designed to confuse you so that it would take a few episodes for people to even understand the geometry and the geography of the
Yeah, I
place.
don't.
Um, yeah, and this is even just the small area that's on stage 21. So
How many stages do you have?
we have two.
2.
Uh,
2
and
full.
now we're almost a healthy uh we're literally fire lane to fire lane on one of them. Well, like you open up a door that leads to supposedly a bathroom and it's the yellow line of the fire lane. It couldn't have been more efficient use of space. Um and it's not too dissimilar from that now on the second stage as well.
Wow. 'Cause I really love, like, when I see it on camera and the columns and everything, it just makes me appreciate older architecture back east. And I think of that a lot where they converted spaces and they
Yes.
kept those marble walls and that. So I appreciate it so much because it makes me think of like hospitals, that you've researched in back east. I think it's such a great
Yeah.
detail. And your color palette for those, if I could get back to it, like that subtle purple or the beiges, like it
Mhm.
doesn't jump at you. It's just an
Mhm.
appreciation of architecture that even you have the details of the rubber bands going around it on the floor for,
Mhm.
for
Mhm.
cleaning. It's such a
Yeah.
they're such wonderful details and they
Yeah.
pop up, as they're walking by or it's
Thank
wonderful.
you.
It's
Thank
wonderful.
you.
Yeah.
Thank you. It was intended to keep the space. At one point, John wrote me this note saying, essentially, we've made with the dark costumes in the foreground, we've made almost a black and white film. And so the
Hmm.
characters pop out, space is intentionally blanched, and every on a subtextual level, yellow and black are the colors in Pittsburgh that are everywhere, that are ubiquitous. Sports teams
But
and
yeah.
coaches are all
Yeah.
painted yellow.
Yeah.
So it's this gold and the dark blackish hues are a subtextual way of implying that these are the colors of Pittsburgh. So I'm glad that it's working for you, and not to be too extreme, and not to be overly
Yeah,
architect.
no, it doesn't it's I don't know, it's beautiful in the background.
Well,
And
the architecture in Pittsburgh,
yeah.
it's not quite like Chicago and it's not quite like New York. It has this European aesthetic to it,
Mhm.
hard to
Polish.
express. And
Yeah.
so having everyone signed on to this brave choice that I've suggested to them, and I'm grateful.
And it succeeded. So they should be happy. Matt, what's your biggest challenge? I mean, I know that securing large medical pieces is challenging, but from episode to episode, what are the challenges you're facing in because you can't reset, right? I mean, you can't you're following a different model here than regular.
It's a kind of exciting because we are shooting something that happens. We're shooting over the course of 9 months, something that happens in one day over the course of 15 hours. And, every hour is an hour of real time in our world, and we shoot. Unlike a lot of shows, we shoot pretty much in chronological order from the beginning of the script to the
Oh,
end of the
that's
script,
nice.
each episode, with a few minor exceptions. If there's a big operation that happens in the trauma room, they might pull a scene up a little bit or something like that. But basically, um, it's shot chronologically, and so um,
Good.
continuity is an issue,
Yeah.
and we are very cognizant of that and trying to make sure that over the course of those 8 9 months that we're shooting, that it's still the same day.
Yeah.
And so we have great on-set dressers who are looking to that. We have a great system that I won't go into, but my lead man, my tremendous lead man, Chris Littleford, and our on-set dressers, Patrick and Kamisi, have worked out a system where there's communication every night after we finish shooting, going
Ooh.
into the next day. We have a tremendous AD department, second AD, who helps us, follow all that and whatever's going on with the director in terms of what we're doing. So I would say that is our biggest ongoing challenge. Certainly, we had an enormous challenge when we prepped season one and built the whole thing.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
One of the great things about the show is, that's all done now. So
Yeah.
our job is really to
But
protect it and keep it within the continuity of the season. And the season's going to change a little bit, or it did in season two. We were in the summer,
yeah.
so there were things that we added for the summer, fans and little moments of Fourth of July and stuff like that.
Yeah. That
But
was fun.
continuity is a challenge, and then just keeping the setup so that in materialistically keeping it in good shape
You're making
and making.
replenishing gloves. I mean, I know that's us and props, but it's like it's a lot. It's a lot of upkeep for a medical show like this.
Yeah, well, my crew has become really, really um, educated about what needs to be kept stocked and
Yeah.
what we need to have standing by, and they go through every morning and every day when the company breaks for lunch, they go through and check things. Even things, we look at things as detailed as what is in the trash cans, the
Yeah.
stick on trash
Yeah.
cans. Because let's face it, there's at any given day there could be 200 people on that set, and everybody's trying to get through the day and make the show. So sometimes things end up in the trash cans that wouldn't really be there.
Yeah.
But we go and we look and we make sure that if somebody steps on that trash can and the camera catches a glimpse of it, it's rubber gloves,
Yeah.
cotton gauze, things you would actually
Not
see.
something from Crafty. That's our biggest
Yeah,
thing.
not a
Yeah.
hamburger.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean,
So
the set can be shot 360
yeah. So
degrees
carts are
anyway.
outside, right? No, I mean, it's Video Village on the outside? No.
No, Video Village is essentially two rolling stools and a wow monitor system that just looks like a piece of medical equipment with monitors on it. It's there. Everyone is respectfully stealth. Everyone respects that the footprint should be very, very small.
That's
So
awesome.
because of that, the level of set deck detail has to be just because you can look 360 degrees everywhere. You can also look in a drawer, and because someone can film a scene can take place from one end of that set to the other end of that set, and we can't be an aspect of the set that's inaccurate from the
Right.
from a set deck standpoint or a construction standpoint. Everything needs to be available to them, accessible to them, because there's multiple stories that are taking place. You're seeing the foreground story, there's the midground story, and there's the background
Yeah.
story all happening at once. All of it is tracked and all of it is carefully supported with the set deck department. And it's because many people watch the show multiple times and
I
they'll look
know.
for the character that's going to show up 5 episodes later, for instance, in
In the
chairs.
waiting room. Yeah.
Exactly. And
Yeah.
then they'll show up and they've been there the whole time. And it's this whole Easter egg hunt that people do.
It's
And
so
we take
great.
great pride in being accurate with all that.
I
It's a
do
lot.
I do feel like other shows you can get away with not dressing a drawer, but nowadays everything, every fridge, every drawer, every closet because you never know and you don't, it's not scripted anymore. They just go in there. And so I feel like you always have to be
Mhm,
prepared for
mhm.
drawers.
I think that's very true, and I
Yeah.
think that's part of the
And that's
one
fun.
of one of the fun things of
Yeah.
our job, yeah,
Yeah.
is, making the junk drawer look like a
Yeah.
junk drawer,
Yeah.
or making the drawer in the medical cabinet look like it has, exactly what should be in there.
Yeah. Like your
Another
break room.
interesting The break room is great.
Yeah.
We have junk piled on top of the
Yeah.
refrigerator. Every cabinet is full of stuff. Another thing that we do that a lot of people, surprises a lot of people, is we have about 50, I'd say 50 beds on the stage,
Right.
gurneys.
Yeah.
And if you're an extra in our show and you have a broken leg and you're in, hall bed N or whatever,
Right.
and you're there for the whole show, you're in that bed for 8 months or whatever.
Right.
So we change the linens on the beds every 3 days. We go through in sections so that the background people who have to be in the beds are not sitting in the same
Right.
unkempt linens. So that's another big job that we do on a daily
That's
basis.
huge. That's huge.
We have the whole system worked out for it. And
Laundering and like, are you,
yeah,
I
but
mean, steaming? I don't know if you're steaming them because they would
we,
have creases. I don't know. Would
we
they?
send them out.
You said,
It's a
yeah.
little like painting the Golden Gate Bridge where you start on one
Yeah.
end, and then you go to the other end, and then
And
you
then you
start
go
again,
back.
and
Yeah.
there's no
Yeah.
time in
And then you
between.
go back.
Yeah.
Um, some of the sets that you had for this second season, you extended the exterior pedestrian entrance, which a great there's a great scene out there with the two doctors.
Yeah.
Um, and you're using a lot of indoor outdoor because they're constantly in that ambulance bay.
Yeah, that ambulance bay is actually we've made a lot of enhancements to a practical location, but that's actually here in Los
It's
Angeles.
in LA, yeah.
And we frosted the whole thing with brick, and we have a structures and greens and everything that completely renovate the space to make it look. And then we've built the interior of our stage in the interior of just the very, very
Oh,
entrance in the ambulance bay. We've built at the exterior location as well, so that these things are seamless.
yeah.
Um,
Oh, yeah. I
because
thought you were on.
it's
I thought you were at WB. I thought you guys never left the lot. Do you know what
yeah,
I
no, we have a great relationship with the
That's the one
hospitals.
thing we leave the lot in LA for.
mean? We leave
Yes,
the
other
lot
than
for the exterior.
there's a very, very large blue screen that we drop Pittsburgh into,
Mm,
and there we're dealing with daylight conditions and greens conditions and views and the change of time,
yeah.
and the change of the time of day and the lighting. And so it's this relief, but it really does feel very much like stage space, because
Yeah.
it's we go back to the same space, and we feel like we have agency there in a lovely way. They're incredibly cooperative with us.
Did you go to Pittsburgh this year for that park?
We go to Pittsburgh. We've gone to Pittsburgh each season for 2 to 3 days of shooting.
Nice.
And yeah, so that park that's directly actually across from Allegheny General,
Yes.
and uh, that uh, uh, we love the anchor of that park.
Yeah, it's nice. And you have like a lot of traffic right there,
Yeah, North Avenue has
which is
a lot
part
of
of the
traffic.
scene, but like I
Yeah,
was yeah. Oh,
yeah,
that's great.
yeah,
You guys also built this viewing room for such a sweet character that was so sad
yeah,
when he passed away.
yeah. So,
This was brand new for season two. Well, not
Yeah.
brand new. We had a previous viewing room, but
it
we
didn't look like this at all. So we built a
wanted
Yeah.
to expand it.
physical one, yeah. So we built a larger physical space with connective tissue on both stages. So there
Mm.
was amendments done to the main stage, and then we built this like a like a traditional set that you have an entrance to, but that is not contiguous. So this is really unique. It's like old world scenery where it's a
Yeah.
separate physical set
I
on a
liked it.
different stage.
You guys got so many people in that room. And it's funny because
Yeah,
when I look at the set photo, I'm like, oh, it's smaller than I thought it was. On camera, it looks really big in a sense.
yeah,
There's
and
like
that was
15
the
people in that
purpose.
scene, isn't there? Like saying goodbye to.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, yeah, that was the purpose, and
Yeah, no, it's great.
we we also renovated, not in this document, but we also renovated the space on stage 22 so that even though you're only seeing a tiny wedge of it on stage 22, it looks just like this renovation that we've
Mm.
done.
Oh, so
It was
are you seeing some of the windows or anything? I think that's in one of your
Yeah,
set
no,
photos.
I didn't put in this packet the
Mm.
renovation because essentially we're replicating the wedge that you see through the doorway on 22, but
Mm.
the space is only the size of that wedge. So it couldn't accommodate this scale of a set. Because we've used again every square inch of stage
Yeah.
22.
I mean, I don't you have no swing set space, right? I mean, I
Uh, we only have some space left on the other side of
yeah,
the second
yeah,
floor.
like it's like an inch and a half big at your building.
Yeah, inch and a half big.
You also had Adam's
Have,
house.
have swing set space for little swing sets like this one that we do. This one, but when I said before some of our work is very small, it's because some of these swing sets show up on somebody's cell phone
Right.
in the show, and you're looking at a FaceTime call. So
Yeah.
that's kind of an interesting and fun
You're
little
doing
challenge.
verticals. You're doing
We're
verticals
doing
in the middle of the
Yes,
show.
yes,
we're
Yeah.
doing verticals.
Which I am into now also because the storyline consists of people showing their phone. And you're like,
Yeah,
"Well,
it
what's on
is
the phone?" And it's not just a screen anymore, it's a FaceTime. Well, then what's in the background? Where are they? Like,
yeah.
so yeah, we're
Yeah,
dressing verticals within our shows now.
yeah, it
Yeah.
was amazing.
well, of course, you know, the show all takes place within the ER and the ambulance bay and everything, but this is the one time when we can sort of secretly go out into the world through people's phones or whatever and have a little fun with a set like this one.
Yeah.
They must have saw you coming at like Uni or WB like, "What are you doing here?" What
Yeah,
are you getting
exactly.
real
Yeah.
furniture for?
You're putting this in the hospital?
Yeah. What is these drapes? Oh, it's sweet. It's a break for us to like do something else. So I know that I don't know, I embrace it every once in a while. I had no idea that you built the karaoke bar. I was actually thinking like, I wonder where they shot. Was that like NoHo? I was like, is that Tokyo Dan? What is that? Like I thought,
That's good. We're staying true to our you think everything is a real space.
oh yeah,
That's good.
I'm in.
This
I'm a
was really
full
fun.
viewer. I'm in. I'm always buying it. I just think everyone's work is just fools me constantly.
This
So
little coda at the that came up in the script, and we all thought, oh, the fans are going to love this idea of Santos and Mel
and Mel.
going out. So it's so much fun. We were going to build this on stage, but we ended up building it in a physical space that's on the back lot, and it was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It was really fun. We all wanted to be in it.
Well, yeah, I'm sure you wanted to try it out.
It
Yeah.
actually, yeah, I was going to
Yeah.
say it actually came out just like we
Do I have
visualized and imagined it.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
it's a perfect as is like an American bar. Like it's a perfect bar back east.
That's a
Yeah.
great shot. Look at her with her
Yeah,
hair.
she's going for
It's
it.
great.
They're both
Right?
going for it. She's got both hands on that mic. Yeah.
They're let loose.
Yeah.
Issa has
Um,
an amazing singing voice. As you know, she's playing Connie Francis on
yeah.
Broadway now, which is amazing.
So Nina, when you have drawings, you are 3D rendering most of them, like
And
per
we work in
episode
SketchUp.
in
Yeah, we work
SketchUp.
in
In
SketchUp.
SketchUp.
And it's very satisfying because and we do a lot of white models. We have a gigantic white model of all
Oh,
stages and
oh,
the
that's
exterior
great.
ambulance. And the directors are able to work with it very much like, well, almost like playing with a
Dollhouse.
game. It's
Yeah.
playing with Dollhouse. And because the set is so inaccessible because we're on it all the time, the models are super satisfying for them. During
Yeah.
during season one, when we were dealing with mass casualty, we would have roundtable conversations and we'd take a photo. We'd made all the gurneys and all of the wheelchairs and
Oh,
everything.
wow.
We would do scene by scene overhead views of gurney placement, photographic overhead views of gurney placement that became the language that everyone understood. There is we actually SETDEC actually does that with the AD department every single episode. There is a flow chart, and by flow I don't mean the kind of template, but I mean an actual pattern of movement for every single patient.
Oh,
Um,
wow.
every single, because
Oh my
all
God,
of
Matt.
those stories, every single patient, every single background artist has a story. They have a story when they're going to get an X-ray. They have a story when they're going to get lunch. They have a story when they have the story when they're moving from space to space, when they're released, when they're moved from room to room, and all of that stuff is invisible um, transportation.
Right. The choreography of it
That
all.
is charted. There
Like,
are so many charts. It's
yeah.
unbelievable how
The choreography is super important because there's no time to stop during the day because you we I'm sure you know that the whole set is lit by the actual practicals that are in the set. They
Right.
do an extremely small amount of any sort of auxiliary lighting that's usually just handheld. But because of that, they're not stopping for half an hour or 45 minutes to do a lighting setup. They're moving through the day like a documentary crew in a way.
Mhm.
And so everything has to be choreographed and understood ahead of time
So,
for, for the whole day.
so what are is it 8-day episodes?
Nine.
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 9-day
Mhm.
episodes. And you're not stopping to light.
No,
Yeah,
Wow.
they,
it's right from
it's
one thing
always
into the next.
Your
well,
DPs are really good. I have to shout. I mean, it's,
we only have one.
you only, oh, you don't, oh, nice.
Yeah, she's amazing, and all 689 of these lights are controllable um, by a person
Digital.
behind a curtain. And so, as a scene is blocked, the path of travel is clarified, and in the background, like live theater, like live television, any adjustment to the color temperature or the intensity of the lights is made in real time with just those few minutes in between each setup. It's very it's really uniquely immersive
Yeah.
television that's more like theater, that's more like live TV than anything that we've had the opportunity to be part of before. It's
Well,
really wonderful.
it
It's been
definitely shows. I mean, it shows, I mean, in the writing, in the dressing, in the design, in everything, in every scene. And I had said to you like before, even though you have this massive space, you're still able to get these intimate moments in the trio in the small spaces and pulling the curtains, and um you still have designed and decorated these intimate spaces that a lot of life choices are being made. It's hard not to be clinical about it all, but your set doesn't feel, it still feels like it has a heart to it, I guess. Like there's still like
that's
I guess because of the characters are so intriguing.
I think a lot of that has to do with the wonderful writing and
The
acting
writing, yeah. Yeah.
that we support certainly, and but it's so nicely and simply written, and those moments that have a real contrast to all the sort of medical jargon that gets thrown around with the big traumas and everything, and then you do get these little moments
Yeah.
that of humanity and like you said, life and life choices that are being made, and yeah.
I do.
back to the cinematographer and the cinematography.
Yeah.
Essentially, the choice was made, and one of the reasons why this set is so physically unique and deeply immersive, the choice was made to always be from a particular person's perspective. So
Hmm.
you're engaged. I think that's one of the reasons why people feel so connected with the characters and the disparity with which you experience it. It's your own personal journey. There's no music telling you how to feel.
I know.
And so because we're photographing in the space, you're in with the people, you're feeling as an audience member like you're there.
Yeah.
And it's a testament to the intention from the get-go of all of the creators, and I guess us included, to create this experience that was personal and individual to the viewer as well, because you can feel like you're there because you are.
Yeah.
You're not outside of a wall, you're not looking
Really
through a
am.
window, you're immersed in the space like you would be if it's some one person's perspective or a second person's perspective while they're filming it.
I'd have to say too, I mean, we're in a binging world. And I waited to watch the first season because I was like, oh, I'm gonna binge it all, and then things happen in life. And so I binged it on a plane. I was going to Italy. And I didn't realize that the subject matter would be the father dying, which my father had just passed away. So on that plane, I sobbed. I sobbed and sobbed, and I was like, "Why am I still watching this?" Do you know what I mean? Like, but I couldn't turn it off because I knew there'd be resolution, and I knew, you know, life goes on type thing. And then for the second season, I thought, I gotta wait. I gotta wait. I can't binge it all, or so I can binge it all at the end. And then I couldn't wait, and I got like 4 weeks in. And I was like, screw it, I gotta watch it. It's like I have to watch it. I can't wait all these weeks and wait. I had to wait, and so then I had to watch it week by week like everybody else. And I was like, but it's such a great show and heartwarming, and you know, it's also, I think, and I'm sure you guys agree, has brought back, as you were saying, this season. It's an old time season. Like you guys are doing 15 episodes. You're coming back the same time of year. That's how we used to roll. Remember? That's how it used to
Yeah,
be.
it's old fashioned. I
Yeah.
mean, the
And the
idea
people love it. So let's keep doing
people
it.
people love it because there is, I think that there's a, well, there's almost a vulgarity when you consume multiple episodes of something at
Yeah.
once and you actually don't process it. You can't talk about it 3 days later because
Yeah,
you've forgotten
the
a lot
water
of it.
cooling effect,
It-
it's that's
It's a
what it.
big deal. So because I think that's one of the reasons why the show became so attractive to people because it had this uh groundswell of people wanting to talk about it
Yeah.
and in making appointment television be something that it was, that people were able to share as a community. There's a lot of people that have watching parties. They get
Oh,
together.
yeah.
I almost don't know anyone who doesn't watch this collectively. It's like, okay, well, you have to promise me that you're not going to watch it Good Friday
Yeah.
night. We're going to watch it
Yeah.
together and we're going to watch it as a group. It's so
Yeah.
it has altered the way people experience it, and there's so much to talk about in each episode because it's touching different uh very essential aspects of both healthcare and
Yeah,
people's
so
personal
much.
journeys, like you're expressing your personal journey.
Second season dealt with so many different things before it was a thing in real life, kind
Mhm,
of, with the whole ice
mhm,
thing and everything. Like, that was shot
mhm.
before Minneapolis, right? Minneapolis.
Yeah, I mean, it was
That
aired
was
after.
yeah,
I don't remember the timetable of it.
I feel like I read something where, like, either that was being written or shot at the same time, like, that it
Comparable
was
time
before.
frame.
Yeah.
It
That's
was impacting
incredible.
everybody. Yeah,
That's
when
incredible.
we were recently, the cinematographer and I were recently at this conference, and we met one of the other speakers at this conference was the editor of the Minnesota Star Tribune,
Oh,
and she's a fascinating woman. And they were honestly all over the pit out of respect for the pit and it telling a storyline and telling a storyline in a way that was that had enough objectivity to not close down thought. So that's the way that she described it.
yeah. So your day to day of the redoing the beds and the continuity, and then just n- really being on the set all the time. I just feel like the upkeep of it and the effort and everything to keep everything so in line with the story that you're shooting that day is really hard. It's really hard.
We have I have an amazing crew, and we have an amazing prop
Yeah, your
department.
prop
that-
department is
that
amazing.
They're great, and our two crews work together, and we have an amazing um, assistant director, you know, and second ADs, uh, a couple assistant directors, and numerous assistant ADs who the communication on the show and the enthusiasm that people bring every day is wonderful.
Yeah.
Um, it's like a lot of other John Wells shows that I've been on, you know, that it's a wonderful environment. The people are great. People love working on the show. They work hard. They're looking at, you know, great professionals. And that's what makes it work is the interdepartmental, you know,
Yeah, it's really a lot of
collaboration
coordination.
and sort of, yeah, and collaboration,
How
you
many
know.
medical techs do you have on? Do you know?
In every there's writers that are doctors that are part of the scripted word.
Oh,
Dr. Joe Sachs is a practicing emergency room doctor who is an executive producer and a writer on the show. And they've added more writers of similar ilk to the team this year. But on any given day, every single day, there are uh, actual doctors that are physically on set, and there's real nurses that are also background artists
oh, that's awesome.
that gently guide and maintain the realism of every single moment that an actor is there in trauma, particularly. um, and they guide us along the way.
Because even with the equipment, I mean, you have to have med techs with all like your blood pressure and all that. Like, it's a lot to coordinate with them too. Like, of course,
Yeah.
of meetings and everything,
They,
of getting the right machine or whatever, but it's still a lot of dressing in each and every patient.
yeah, we
'Cause you
certainly have a lot of people advising us about that. And again, I have to always throw kudos to the prop department.
An amazing prop department.
yeah. Yeah.
And sometimes we have special equipment that comes in for things, and then we'll have people from those companies come here
Oh,
and
nice.
Rick does this a lot, that will come in and explain how the equipment works and what it should look like and coordinate with our doctors and our med techs. Um, so we get a tremendous amount of support
Oh,
on
that's
that front.
I
Yeah.
was just thinking you guys don't have double up days, right? Because everybody's in the scene. Like, that's
There's
a good one.
Yeah,
That's a
yeah,
they
good
can't
thing.
do that to us.
they can't do that because I mean, even if Dr. Robbie is in the background, he's there. Everyone shows up every day,
Right.
which also is an aspect of the community that this show has built, because we all feel like we need to do our part. Every
Yeah.
person needs to do their part, no matter how small.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, every spoke in a wheel. Gotta
Every
get it
spoken
on.
of wheel.
Yeah.
We have background artists that take great agency with the specifics of their environment. Like everyone in dispatch has a careful way that everything is laid out, and if there's bets in the betting board that are wrong, they will make sure to update them or communicate with us to make sure that things are exactly on track. And we love how
That's good. That's
much
good and bad.
people are invested.
Yeah.
No, it's really great
No, it
because
is. It is.
because it takes a village. It really takes a
Yeah,
village.
and you have
This
so
art
many
department.
extra you have so many people in that set
Mhm,
at all times.
mhm,
It's
mhm.
crazy. Did I count that you guys have worked together like this is your sixth, fifth or sixth project together at least?
Oh God, more than that.
More
More?
than that.
Oh man, I didn't go too I didn't must have not gone too deep.
No, you're gonna have to go way back
You
because
well there was
I'll
one
tell
like
you why, because I was buyer for Casey Fox,
oh,
an amazing set
yeah.
decorator, who unfortunately is no longer with us. But Casey worked with Nina for years, and I was working with Nina through Casey as a buyer for years.
Oh,
And
wow.
before that, I was Nina's art department coordinator.
Oh my gosh, you're going way back.
Yeah,
We
no,
go back, we go back to like 1995 or something.
That's
don't say that.
awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah, no, it's
Nina
really,
gave me my first individual set decorating job on a that was a non-union film, right?
well, it was a real, actually, it's a
Annihilation.
really beloved art film now because it just got a 4K release. It's Charles Burnett directed it. It's with Lynn Redgrave and
Oh,
James Earl Jones. It's this beautiful romance.
oh,
We built all these sets, and that was the first opportunity that I had to offer Matt the set tech position, and he did a spectacular job. And I've had the honor of working with him. I mean, it's kind of innumerable at this point.
I mean,
Yeah.
Shameless alone, you guys did phenomenal. You were nominated for an Emmy in 2022 for The Flight Attendant together,
Yes.
which is
Yes.
amazing. I mean, you guys really pull the best out of each other, I'd have to say, your new projects. I love it.
I feel very lucky to be connected to Matt. He's an
Yeah,
amazing.
the feeling is mutual. We have a long history, and it's been a rich history, and it's amazing because I met Nina on the very first thing I ever did in this industry, and now here we are all these years later.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I do love the family that we make at work. It is.
Yeah.
Like, I've spent more time with my lead man than my husband.
Yeah, no, we better love our people that we work with.
Yeah,
Because
you have to.
Because we do spend so much
We
time
spend
with
so
them.
much time.
seriously, if we would spend our entire time working just wanting to get out of work, it would really be
Yeah.
a
No.
wrong livelihood. So it's very nice. Well, nice is a pathetically
No, it's nice.
consequence
It
word,
is.
but I think that the level everyone has to be great at their job, and we've had the luck of and fortune of being able to work a lot, and so we've curated the most excellent crew, and we all need to be great at our jobs, but we need to be good human beings too.
Oh, yeah.
And I love that about the ethos of John Wells Productions,
Oh,
and
yeah.
I love that about Matt and his crew and my crew, all of us woven together. It's beautiful.
Well, it's wonderful, and it shows in your sets, the care and the detail, and the amazing life that you give to these sets is really phenomenal. So congratulations. I love it. Love it.
Thank
Thank you, Kim.
Yeah, I love
Thank you,
it.
Kim.
So I hope it's recognized. I mean, I really think that, looking at everyone's presentations this year is really going to make a difference. I hope everyone takes the time to look at presentations, because we can't watch everything. And so looking at people's work, more than just watching the show and seeing like, oh my God, they built that whole thing. Like, I just think it's great. And your presentation is fantastic. So thank you for letting me use it on this too.
Yeah,
It's
I
great.
actually just sent, or via Lauren, I just sent a ground plan of the overview because I realized that's not in the packet, but
Oh.
that could be for your amusement.
Oh, well, I will dork out. I will look at anything. Months go by and I still look at those ADG packages. I'm like, wait, did they build? Let me go back and look at that. I'm a total dork, so I will appreciate that.
We're lifelong learners.
Oh
Everybody-
yeah. Oh yeah. I
every
mean,
job is a new set of challenges and a new set of opportunities to learn something intense. At a certain point, I suppose if we're on this job long enough, we'll all feel like doctors. But it definitely, we've learned so much and continue to learn on a daily basis. We've turned our focus sort of from the macro into the micro, but it's just as important, and especially on a job like this.
it's inspiring, because how many doctor's offices and everything you do, and you think, oh, I get the same stuff, or I get this and this, now they need this equipment and everything. But it's inspiring to see like new medical. I have to be honest, like an up medical show. Like, it's nice. It's really nice to see. It gets tired sometimes. So to me, it's all bright and shiny. It's wonderful. But yes, thank you guys so much. I know I got to get back to work, which I wish I might have to come and bang on your door. A very special thank you to HBO Max for presenting this episode of Decorating Pages in celebration of the Pitt Season 2 for your consideration for outstanding production design for a narrative contemporary program, 1 hour or more. Thank you to Nina and Matt for taking us inside the design of this remarkable show. And what I love so much about the Pitt is that the work is both enormous and restrained, and I think you got a sense of that in hearing, especially with Matt, of how the dressing has to be perfect but lived in at the same time and feel used but sterile. There's a very thin line, and him and his crew have achieved that perfectly. So that kind of authenticity does not happen by accident. It takes research of hospitals and their architecture and medical consultants working with construction and decoration and props and graphics, the lighting, the continuity, and the crew that understands that the world is made up of these small details that the design and the decor have put into these sets. Season 2 expands the world of Pittsburgh Trauma Medical Center while keeping the intimacy that made the series connect so strongly with audiences and Emmy voters. It is a beautiful example of production design that supports their performance, their story, and especially the realism. And that in a contemporary show is so important. So for your consideration, The Pitt Season 2 for outstanding production design for a narrative contemporary program, 1 hour or more, streaming now on HBO Max Or if you are an Emmy voter, you have it on your platform, you can go and watch. Thank you for listening to Decorating Pages, and be sure to follow the podcast, subscribe to YouTube. Don't forget the YouTube video because all of these pictures are up there. And watch this full video and the interview for the behind the scenes images, set details, and breakdowns. I hope you got an earful. I'm Kim Wannop for Decorating Pages.